What's up, everybody? Today I'm back to do another design review video. A bunch of you have been sending me emails with all of your graphics to review. So I picked out a few of you basically in order of what you sent me. And then I have a few left that I'm going to do in a later video. So just need a couple more people to send in some stuff, and then that will be a full video. So if yours is not in this one, it'll probably be in the next one. So if you want a full Photoshop file review of your graphic, I think I'm going to start making single videos of those. So all you have to do is become a member of the highest tier of Patreon, and then send me your Photoshop file to this email right here. Tell me what your name is so I can verify you on Patreon, and then I'll make you your own video. And it will be put out on my channel, so you'll see it, everybody will see it. And we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, if you just want me to review your graphic, just send it to me on the email. There's no priority that way though. I basically just do first come, first served, and the videos come out whenever. Also in this video, we're gonna announce a winner, which is just my favorite design. And you know, there's nothing more to it than that. I'm just gonna pick out the design I like the best at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's start critiquing some graphics. So first off, we have Matthias Darold. I want to say Matthias Darold, even though it kind of looks like Matthias. He sent in a UFC graphic that looks pretty sick. Got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of textures. We have our 3 cutout style here. So everything's looking pretty clean off the bat. I like it. Honestly, this is a pretty solid graphic. I think there are some areas that could be cleaned up a bit and maybe changed a little bit. So I like how you have this light back here, and you can see on this guy's left side there's like a yellow light. The only thing is this guy doesn't have that as much, especially like here where the light would be coming from. So he kind of has it like blooming over his neck, which is nice. But I'd probably put some sort of like inner light on the edge of his head back here. He kind of has it like on this side of his head, but really you'd see some like on his ear and on this side of his head because the light is like right here. And you kind of do have it over here. I think that works. It's very soft and subtle. But I think there could be some on this side, maybe on his chin, on his head, kind of like this guy has. And then on this side, he has blue. So this tells me this is like a studio shot and there's some blue light over here. So I don't know if I would either have changed that by just changing the blue to his skin color so that it doesn't look, because right now it just looks different from all the other photos. You can tell this is a studio shot because he's got yellow light on this side and blue light on the other side. Unless you did that, but I don't know. Maybe you did that because you have some blue light over here. But I probably would have matched the photos a little bit more in that regard, because he has it, which makes me think it's like a studio shot and it's like built into his face and whatnot. Otherwise, you did a really good job with it, but then I would just do more of that to like these two guys too. So I'd put like some blue and yellow lighting like on his face and on his head and stuff. And really like the photo choice. This is a super clean photo. I like this one too. I really like this text up here and his name. These textures, so I kind of like this one. Maybe I would like make this text a little more subtle in a way, because it kind of feels like you're trying to like just fill up every part of the space. So I think to make it a little more clean, if you took this away and took that away, or you just made them both like pretty subtle, more so like this one is, then this would just be a cleaner graphic altogether. Because you have like, there's a lot going on that's like, there's like a lot of details in the graphic that look cool. So I don't think you need to like fill up all the space, because right now it's like everywhere you look, there's something. So I would just remove this or something, or make them both a little more subtle. But for the most part, this is a pretty solid graphic. Those are just a few things I would do to change it. Again, a lot of this is just preference, so you can take the advice or not. Thank you for sending in the graphic, and we will move on. So this one is from Ryan Littler. So let's see. Ryan sent in a Liverpool versus Fulham graphic. So right off the bat, the like overall graphic looks pretty solid. You got some clean stuff going on. I think this could easily be a really solid graphic. I think the thing that sticks out to me is moving these two guys, because like right now they're like just like connected weird between his leg and his arm, and then these guys are the same size, so they're like competing for the eye instead of having like a visual hierarchy. Because this looks like really clean back here. This background looks clean. I think it'd be nice if you could see a little better. And I really like this guy down here. Like I think the shadows on him, like the way you have like the text over, like placed over him, and then like his leg in the background, this one in the front. This picture looks really good. And then this picture looks solid. So I think I just moved this guy. And I mean, you may not even need him there, but if you were going to keep him, I'd probably just make him a lot smaller so that it goes like small, bigger, big. Because this is a really cool and dynamic photo, but I think it just needs to be smaller. So I don't really know how it would work in this instance, because like this area here is where it would have to go if everything else were to stay the same, but I don't know if that would show off the full photo like really well. So I don't know. Maybe I'd move him down here, see how that looks, or if not, like move this guy to the left a little bit, move this guy to the left a little bit, and then have this one really small like here. But like super clean graphic. You got a lot of good stuff going on. Yeah. Honestly, like it looks really solid, and it would look really solid if you just had this guy not in there at all. Which I know is hard to do, because you find a really cool photo and you're like, dang, I got to put this in there somehow. But yeah, this guy either needs to be moved, made smaller, or just taken out completely. But other than that, pretty solid. I like everything about it. It's clean. Yeah. So good job, Ryan. Cooper Comstock. Let's see what he has going on. So he sent in a Heisman Trophy graphic for Travis Hunter. And also thank you, Cooper, for sending this in. Cooper's got like a similar style, I feel like, in a lot of the graphics he sent me, which is like this clean, not overly edited, or I guess not overly like blended style. I would say it's very recruiting graphic-esque. I like what you're doing with the background and everything. I think if I was going to use this light that you have right here, because I kind of like how it's like shining down on the trophy, I'd probably put like a lighting effect around the trophy on the left side so that it looks like it's like hitting, you know, his back or the left side of the trophy. And I mean, I think it's pretty solid here, like what you did with like the rest of the background. It's definitely very recruiting-esque graphic, because I feel like I've made a lot of graphics like this. So pretty solid. Yeah, I think the only thing I'd really do is just, because this already worked. You see how like this left side of this frame is lit, it's white, but then on the other side it's dark and has like a shadow. So it works well with the lighting coming from the top left. So I would just kind of like bring that to full effect on this trophy. Maybe even like add some shading to the right side. So you really sell this like light streak coming in. On to the next one. 3-0 since release of Call of Duty. So this is pretty funny. I think right off the bat, I'd probably like take everything in a little bit. So like, not like the border, but this, and then like the text, all this text, the logos and whatnot. It's just like all spread out to the very edge of the graphic. So I'd probably just like basically create a border around the edge. Like this distance is good. So this and like up here, I think is too close to the edge. So I'd probably just like pull it all in. And then I guess this is like a fire texture. What I would do with that is probably add some like orange lighting to him to make it look like he's actually there. And then also it looks like it's a fire texture that's just kind of like faded out towards the middle. So I'd probably try and find a way to make it look a little more crispy on the edges of the fire and not just like a fade. But again, that's just like a stylistic choice. And if you want to go with like a more simple look, this is pretty solid. So basically the only big edit I'd have is like take everything in a little bit. Maybe like put this text on top of this text and center it up and make it a little bit smaller. It feels like there's a lot of space taken up and you could like use some more like room in certain areas. Kind of like that graphic I was talking about earlier. So thanks, Cooper, for sending that in. And now, all right, this guy sent in a bunch. TCFX is his name, he says. So TCFX, thanks for sending this in. He's 13 years old, which I just put that on here, TCFX 13, because being 13 years old and being able to do this is incredible. So right off the bat, let me just say, keep doing what you're doing, because being only 13 and being able to design this well and use Photoshop this well is good stuff. So don't quit, but I'm going to try and just get through all these really quickly because there's not a lot of time. So if you send me a bunch of graphics, just know that I'm not going to take as much time on them. Future note to everyone sending in graphics. First off, we have No Fear, Jeremiah Fears. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know who that was, but his name is Jeremiah Fears. So that's pretty cool. So I think right off the bat, there's like this red glow happening like here in this photo, which I think is naturally there. And then you have like some glow coming off of this text. And I really like a lot about what you have going on here. I think like what I would do, the main thing I'd do here is his skin texture is just kind of like moving his skin to like a red. And I don't really love that. Like I'd rather keep his skin the same color, like his, natural skin color, and then add in some like red highlights around him and maybe even like on him in some places, like it is here and you can see in some of these places. But I mean, even in this photo, it's just like his whole face is kind of like red. And in most of these photos, he's a little too orangey, reddy. Like this front photo, he looks pretty natural here. So if the whole photo looked like this, I think it would look a lot better, to be honest. So I would match like this guy, like this cutout and this cutout versus this cutout. I would match him and him to him because this one looks good. It looks really clean and crispy. If the whole graphic had this guy's like same color, I think it would look a lot better. Because I like the text. I like the text style, like the curve on it. everything you have going on, like there's some good design elements in the background. It's not too busy. You have the score over here. Maybe I'd move like this a little bit in and this a little bit in, because you don't want stuff too close to the edge. Like this is okay because this is just kind of like part of the background, but you don't want like details close to the edge. So I'd move that down a little bit, move these in a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Those are my thoughts. It looks really cool. All right, Diggs graphic. Stefon Diggs. So this one's cool too. Same sort of textures. I think I'd right off the bat. So I think I'm okay with these two guys being the same size in the background. You have like a cool texture going on, like from side to side. I like that. I'd maybe just move this logo in a little bit, and I'd probably just make Steph bigger here. Like I'd make his head come to like here. That way he's like the highlight of the three. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'd like fade these guys out a little more or something. I like what you have, but I think there could be a little more visual hierarchy. And maybe making this guy bigger would ruin that, but I kind of feel like he should be the center of attention, so he should be full color, crispy, made a little bit bigger, and then these guys are kind of just like a background. Because right now they're so like in focus and so there's so much pop to them. Like my eye goes to them first. And then it's like, which one do I look at? And then you find him down here. So I don't know. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. All right, Kyler. Still solid graphic. Like I like this up here. This is cool. K1 Cardinals QB. Also like this. Good font choice. Like I like, these text boxes with the tall text in there with the details, and then that same thing down here. I don't know if you're using all the same fonts here, but maybe I'd like keep it consistent with this, or like keep like this and this looks good. So I kind of wish this looked the same. And maybe it was a little bit smaller or something. But I like the hierarchy. Like everything looks really good, really clean. His skin color though is still not great. I think it's just too red. So I would make his skin color more natural, which is just bumping the reds down some. The only other thing is, so it's kind of giving me like Commanders vibes in the outside colors, and then this red is like very bright. So I'd either keep these colors consistent with these, or change like his jersey texture or jersey color and whatnot, like the reds on it to this red. But yeah, with the gold and the maroon, it kind of looks like Commanders. So a little bit confusing as far as color choices go there. So yeah, I'd figure out just the different colors, change his skin color to like his actual skin color, and then you're basically good to go from there. Jalen Waddle. This is pretty cool, pretty solid. I think I would take off this grid texture because it kind of makes it messy. Like I wish this graphic was a little more like clean and less grungy, because it's like a really cool opportunity for really cool clean graphic. And I like this like texture or like text texture blur whatnot. I think this logo is ghosted, so I'd figure that out, because I'm not sure if that's supposed to be white, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I like a lot about what you're doing. I think his helmet's a little bit too close to the edge here, so I'd either pull him down some. I'd probably hide him like this. the fade up right here, I'd probably hide that behind this cloud. So there's no blue right here. Or just like fade it up from here. So it's like an obvious, because it's like right on the edge. You see some blue. So I wish he was just like hidden behind the cloud right there instead. And then also, yeah, his head is too close to the edge. So either go above and like cut off like the top of his head, or bring him down to like here. So he's not going over the edge. I really like these textures he did with the feet. It looks cool. Looks like he's like skating on the water. He's like frozen or something. I like the island and the picture and all this. Like, I don't know if this is a full picture or if like you made this in Photoshop AI or something like that, but really cool. So also just a creative idea. Add some dolphins like jumping in the background here. I don't think that's what this is, but that'd be a cool addition. So also, I don't know what's going on here, but maybe fix that. All right, this is the same as this, but I kind of like it better because you have less, red. There's just too much like red in this one. So this looks good because he made him black and white. And then, yeah, I think there's like some red glow effect on this guy. I don't know if I would leave that on there and take it off, but also I'd move this photo because there's like a piece of his leg right here. So it feels kind of weird. It's like right on the edge. And then also this is right on the edge. So I'd just move it a little bit to the side. Other than that, pretty solid. Also, yeah, you're doing incredible if you're actually 13 years old. So comment below, verify your age, so I can give you a thumbs up. Because you're doing big things, TCFX. All right. KK7 design. Bo Nix. I like the separation you have here because there's a blur, so it separates this ball from that ball. But I wish there was more separation between like this front guy and these two bad guys, like here and here. Also, there's some black and white weird stuff going on right here, like his finger and the jersey in the background. So I'm not sure what happened there. Also, there's some weird lighting. I don't know if these were orange originally and you like made them black and white and that's what happened. But yeah, it's like an interesting thing happening there. And then I would use, wow, also this tin I just realized, which is super subtle. I don't think you need this tin in the background with like the with the bevel on it. I'd use this texture and this glow back here to add some glow onto these guys. Make them a little like more softer laying over the background. But yeah, I was just saying I like what you have here. It would work in some instances, like a Netflix header like that you see before you're about to start a show. If it was like long and it was kind of like moving or something. But with just a social media graphic like this, I think I'd have a little more visual hierarchy if possible. So moving on to this one, offers graphic. So this is a pretty basic offers graphic. You have to like do what you've been given to work with, and it was probably like a low budget thing. And this guy probably doesn't have a lot of good photos, but I'd probably use like a picture of the guy's face and have his name on there. I don't know if like what Astro is, but yeah, I wish you had a photo of him actually looking at the camera. And other than that, it looks like a pretty basic offers graphic. Only thing I'd say is like don't blur out logos and stuff. I mean, for this sort of thing, it's like the kids don't care what you do, but if we're talking about actual design here, you never want to mess with a logo like this. So that's my advice. So thank you KK7 Design for sending those in. And like I said, if you want to be in the next video, send your graphics to this email. If you want me to break down your PSD, do the same thing, send it to this email, and just subscribe to the highest tier of Patreon. And then in the email, verify that you did that, give me your name, and I'll make you your own video breaking it down. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.